Hey YouTube, it's Gareth here again, Global Phones Editor for Tech Radar. We've updated our top list of phones and the iPhones are in the mix, so let's take a look and see where the top phones land in our top list of top handsets. Wait, before we begin, this is a list based out of the UK, so if you're from another country, you might not see all your favourite phones here. Just let us know in the comments below what you want to see added in. We love hearing from you, we love it even more when you like our videos, and my word, do we adore it when you subscribe. This is a divisive phone indeed. To some, it's the epitome of perfection. To others, an oversized phablet with little in the way of customization in the interface. But both of those things are what make this phone so great. It's a little on the expensive side, and you could argue it lacks any standout features, but that really misses the point. It's got a great build quality, decent camera, and it slips along under the finger without any issues. It is one of the older phones in the list, so make sure you do find it for a decent price though. A great phone if you're a fan of simplicity and power, and you want to be first in line for Google's updates. Now, Sony's a curious brand. One day it's making decent mid-range phones, seemingly out of the flagship market, and the next it's offering top-of-the-range handsets, but without the specs you'd hope for. There's still no QHD screen, although the 1080p offering that is there isn't too bad at all, and the battery life isn't quite at the level that Sony seems to promise. The camera is much improved though. That sharp autofocus really is something to behold. I feel almost bad having to tell you that this phone is so far down the list, simply because it's packed with innovation. It's just, we have so many good phones around at the moment. The main draw for the G5 is the clever modular design. Take the bottom of the phone off, pull out the battery and you'll be able to supercharge the camera or audio, with more clever modules to come in the future. There's a smart dual camera on the back for improved wide-angle picture taking, a top-of-the-range Snapdragon processor, and good performance on battery life too. If you're a fan of the alternative way that LG does things, a brand that offers high spec with an innovative twist, and often for less money, then the G5 is a strong choice. The flagship killer is back, and this one with a premium build quality, a full metal body and a strong camera bolted on the back. The fingerprint scanner is rapid and useful, but the main win here is always with the price, which is so much lower than the rest of the phones on this list, despite packing a top-end chipset and clever user interface. The HTC 10 is sculpted by light, which is a fancy way of saying it's made to look good when placed down on a table. And once again, HTC has managed to make a phone that feels wonderful in the hand, drawing again on its strong design heritage. The camera has been much improved, and if you're willing to shoot in Pro mode for most of your snaps, you'll get some stunning pictures. And the audio quality from the headphones really has to be heard to be believed. This is a great comeback from HTC, and the perfect phone if you value style and performance, along with a great handset to listen to music on. The iPhone 7, on the one hand, does do a lot more than its predecessor. It's waterproof, comes with decent stereo speakers that kick out some strong sound, and the screen quality is improved too. However, the build is very similar to the previous models, which will disappoint some. And the lack of the headphone jack might have some good points, but it's pretty inconvenient if you've got more than one pair of cans. And it's still an expensive phone without a sharper screen, so it doesn't quite make it to the top of our list. Look, we know the Note 7 used to catch on fire. If you're buying one now, then you're getting a pretty safe phone and a very good phablet to boot. It's powerful, has a great screen and a very good camera as well. And with the S Pen now waterproof, you can sketch out ideas under the waves if that's what you're into. In fact, it's only the price that gets in the way of this phone being seen as one of the very best on the market. It's hugely expensive, but at least does a fair bit to justify the cost. Where the normal iPhone 7 wasn't much to talk about, the Plus model is much more impressive. The main difference is to the camera, where things are clear and crisp with the ability to zoom in without losing clarity. This is achieved through the fact it's got two sensors on the rear, and can also create clever DSLR focus effects too. It's very impressive from a phone of this size. It's not the cheapest on the list by a long way, but the fact it's got the power of the iPhone's user interface and App Store, combined with an extremely capable A10 Fusion chip inside, make it easily the best iPhone around. The Galaxy S7 still isn't at the top of the charts, but it's one of the very best phones out there at the moment. It's got the best camera, the fastest reactions under the finger, easily the nicest looking screen available, and it's also got an improved design, thanks to the 3D thermoforming that curves into the back. In short, while it looks iterative from the S6, the S7 is a brilliant phone and one that we'd heartily recommend, although that is without taking into account the Galaxy S7 Edge, which is a little bit better. Number 1. Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. It's still there at the top. It's the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. It's the S7 but with so much more style. The curved edges are both beautiful to look at and functional with some clever shortcuts to swipe away. What gets us about this phone, and the fact that the iPhones don't quite beat it, are the designs. There's a massive 5.5-inch screen wrapped into the frame of a far smaller phone, so you're getting the size and sharpness of the Super AMOLED QHD display in a much more palm-friendly design than the iPhone 7 Plus. Even the TouchWiz UI, something so many people have hated in the past, is much closer to stock Android and doesn't lag in the same way, which is a big problem Samsung needed to fix, and it has. If you can afford it, the Galaxy S7 Edge is still the very best phone on the market right now. From camera to performance to sheer browsing speed, there's very little you won't like here.